This week was a nightmare for Indian aviation. Temperatures dropped across northern India. Most airports were engulfed by fog. So flights got delayed. Reports say hundreds of them. It led to some pretty bizarre incidents, like passengers punching pilots and travelers eating dinner on the tarmac. Not a good look. It was a reality check for Indian aviation. But it's not the full story. Let me show you some numbers. India had just 74 airports 10 years ago. Today, that number is 148. The plan is to have 220 airports by the end of 2030. Also, more Indians are flying today. In 2023, air traffic hit an all-time high. India logged around 153 million domestic passengers. That's around 2,900 flights per day. It's much higher than pre-COVID levels. Estimates say 2024 will be even better. Now compare this to the last decade. In 2010, India's air traffic was much lower, just around 51 million domestic passengers. So things have improved. And why is that? Well, one reason is access. If more cities have airports, more people will fly. But that alone is not enough. People should be able to afford flights, which is reason number two. India's middle class has grown consistently. It will make up 38% of the population by 2031 and 60% of the population by 2047. Airlines have seen this potential. Indian carriers placed massive orders last year. Guess how many planes they're buying? Almost 1,000. Air India has ordered 470 planes. Indigo has ordered 500. So clearly they see potential. But what is the end game? Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid out a vision in 2017. Listen to this.
जो सामान्य व्यक्ति हवाई चप्पल पहन करके घूमता है, वो मुझे हवाई जहाज में दिखना चाहिए. ये मेरा सपना है.
In simple words, everyone should be able to fly, not just the rich Indians. How close are we to that target? Today, only 3% of India's population flies regularly, only 3%. That's 42 million people. Compare that to the US. Around 145 million Americans fly regularly. Around 300 million have flown at least once. So how do we get there? There will be organic growth. As income increases, more people will fly. That's a long-term change. But there are other factors too. For example, what if flight rates were cheaper? Would more people fly then? The logical answer is yes. But for cheaper flights, you need competition. You need a crowded field. Just look at China. Around 43 scheduled airlines operate in China. In India, this number is just 17. Same with daily flights. Around 13,000 flights take off every day in China. In India, it's less than 3,000. Clearly, that needs to change. If more players enter the market, prices will drop. That is the main challenge. Because right now, it's like duopoly. Indigo makes up 60% of the market share. Tata's carriers make up 26%. So two firms control 86% of India's market. Naturally, prices will be high. And you can't blame them either because Indian carriers are running huge losses. In the last financial year, their losses were around 17,000 crore rupees. This year, it will be around 4,000 crore rupees. So the trajectory is good. But unless the business is profitable, more firms will not join. Of course, all this will take time. It requires the government and the private sector to work together. Just one word of advice, though. Do not cut corners. Airports across Asia have become the gold standard. They're attractions in themselves, and India needs to keep up with technology, with innovation, and with more investments. Just look at the new Bengaluru airport terminal. It is designed like a garden. Outside India, people are already talking about it. Same with regulation. It's important to keep a close watch on airports to make sure that rules are not flouted. I mentioned the tarmac dinner at the start. The government has issued fines for it. Indigo has been asked to pay 1.2 crore rupees. The Mumbai airport is paying 60 lakh rupees. It may not sound like a lot, but remember these firms are already running in losses. So every penny counts. So to recap, India's aviation sector is primed for takeoff. It has grown leaps and bounds in the last few decades. Only two challenges remain: making it accessible to the masses and making it profitable.